Mr. Speaker, I rise in support of the approval of Budget 2019 as presented to this Honorable House on the 26th of November 2019. Under the theme, Transforming the Economy, Empowering People, Building Sustainable Communities for the Good Life, by the Honorable Finance Minister. Mr. Speaker, Budget 2019 is a comprehensive document of the Coalition's plan for the continued development of this beautiful country of ours. It demonstrates government's commitment to provide the good life to all Guyanese. It's a budget by a caring government for all of our people. The Honorable Minister and his staff ought to be complimented for a job well done.
Yeah.
In the coming year, this government proposes to spend an estimated $300.7 billion in improving the quality of life of all Guyanese. Mr. Speaker, with our government in command, our future will always be bright, and will be bright for a very long time. Just now. Mr. Speaker, the coalition government has always recognized that education is essential for our future. And this year, $52.2 billion will be spent in this sector. Our students will benefit from the purchase of textbooks, the enhancing of their ICT skills by providing and upgrading IT labs in primary schools, the establishment of smart classrooms, the expanding of the school feeding program. Our government continues to provide conducive environment for our students to study. It's worthy to note that $5.4 billion will be spent on the construction, expansion, and maintenance of education facilities across our country. The University of Guyana will again benefit from a subvention from the government to the tune of $3.1 billion, of which $508 million will be used to upgrade the facilities at Torkine and Tain campuses. It is heartening to know that the University of Guyana will be offering studies in the area of petroleum engineering, preparing our citizens to make their contribution in the forthcoming oil industry. Mr. Speaker, a healthy nation is a strong nation and will always be productive. In 2019, the government intends to spend $35.9 billion in improving the health services to all Guyanese. $3.2 billion will be spent on the construction, rehabilitation, and maintenance of health infrastructures across the country, creating worker-friendly environment for our health professionals and comfortable place for our patients. Mr. Speaker, in 2019, $7.8 billion is allocated for the purchase of pharmaceuticals and other medical supplies to ensure that the public health facilities in all our regions have adequate supply of medication for free distribution to our people. Yes. Mr. Speaker, it is the function of every government to provide safe and secure environment for its citizens to live and dwell. The AFC-APNU government will be spending $35.6 billion on public security to secure our communities across Guyana. $700 million will be spent to improve the existing buildings and construction of 4 new divisional headquarters in Region 1, 4, 5, and 8. $500 million will be spent to purchase vehicles, boats, crime scene, and other equipment, further enhancing the capacity of the Guyana Police Force. Mr. Speaker, this year, Region 2 has benefited from a brand new modern police station at Aurora, built by this government.
Yeah. Brand new.
In 2018, G Division has received brand new motor cars, motor pickup, ATVs, motorcycles, increasing the force capacity to continue to serve and protect the people of our region. Yeah. Mr. Speaker, $38.55 billion has been allocated to expand and maintain the country's infrastructure across Guyana. We will see new highways, roads, bridges being built, linking communities across the country,
Highways.
bringing people closer together,
Highways.
the continued rehabilitation of our sea defense, protecting vulnerable areas from the sea, the installation of streetlights along our roadways, making them safer at night. Mr. Speaker, this government intends to spend $480 million in promoting social cohesion, bringing our people together, promoting a culture of brotherhood and respect for each other among our people. In the new year, our government proposed to expand and extend the implementation of ICT program in the hinterland communities. To this end, $375 million will be spent to equip 20 communities with ICT hubs. Our hinterland students, as well as other residents, will enjoy free internet access, enabling them to access information for their own benefit.
Free of charge.
Mr. Speaker, all these projects proposed by government will have a positive impact on the lives of all Guyanese. Mr. Speaker, agriculture remains an important and dependable sector for our economy. In 2019, $17 billion will be spent in the agriculture sector. Mr. Speaker, executable is rice, and rice is executable. Our farmers are delighted to learn that this government will contract a Malaysian research company to carry out studies on the introduction of 3 new high-yielding pest-resistant and disease-resistant varieties of paddy, with the view of supporting the enhanced productivity of our rice industry. You get it just now. In 2018, the high-yielding GRDB15 was cultivated in the region. Farmers reaped between 45 to 50 bags per acre and received between $2,500 to $2,800 per bag, depending on the grade of the paddy. Mr. Speaker, unfortunately, over 700 acres of rice was attacked by paddy bugs and blasts, causing damage to the paddy grains, resulting in lower grade of paddy and hence lower price. In some instances, the damage was so severe that some farmers had no alternative to burn the entire crop, incurring loss to the tune of millions. We sympathize with those farmers who suffer loss. The Ministry of Agriculture, through the GRDB officers, are working with farmers to come up with solutions to these challenges. And along with the exemption of custom duty and value-added tax in pesticide use in the industry, we hope to alleviate their concerns. However, Mr. Speaker, all is not lost. Rice is rebounding. Paddy price is making a steady comeback.
Yes.
Exports are increasing. New markets, including the Mexican market unlocked by PM Nagamutu, are opening. This coalition government has not only found and expanded markets for paddy and rice exports, but has been relentlessly seeking through GRDB favorable prices. In August, Mr. Speaker, all the engines supplying electricity to our region mysteriously shut down, all at the same time. The entire region was plunged into blackout. Businesses suffered, and our people endured great inconvenience. The messengers of doom had a field day. Their message was, blackout till December. The people were in panic. The mischief took toll on the people. But the quick action of the Minister of Public Infrastructure and the management of GPL, electricity was restored to the entire region within a few days. Standby generators were brought in the region with a combined capacity of 6.9 megawatts, much more than the region's demand of 5 megawatts. This is how a caring government operates, Mr. Speaker.
Beats the sabotages.
Mr. Speaker, the 3 new generating sets have been installed at Haimraj Power Station. They have already been tested and are set to be commissioned on the 16th of December 2018.
New generator.
Mr. Speaker, good thing comes to those who wait. This
Yeah.
government has fulfilled its promises to the people of Region 2. No more blackouts in Region 2, Mr. Speaker.
Hear that, Damon?
Mr. Speaker, the Northeast schools that were scheduled to be constructed this year at Mainstay Lake and Cottonfield were all completed. More space to accommodate our students. The rehabilitation of the Anne Regina Secondary School dormitory has been completed, and repairs and construction to the sanitary block at Tapcoma, Marlborough, and Kapui Primary were all completed. Our students are much more comfortable in their new surroundings. Mr. Speaker, on the 29th of October 2018, this government commissioned a high-capacity drainage pump at Three Friends Village, Essequibo Coast, demonstrating government effort to continue to provide suitable infrastructure for agriculture in our region. The trenches and canals from Charity to Supanam, which were neglected for many years, were cleaned and desilted. During the last rainy season, no flooding was reported.
All right, Region 2.
Mr. Speaker, this year our government has fulfilled its promises to the residents of Underneming Sandpit, who were for years calling for an asphalted road. At the tune of $40.1 million, the Underneming Sandpit Road was paved, much to the satisfaction and delight of our residents. Promise made, promise fulfilled by this government.
Definitely.
No more potholes, no more dust. Mr. Speaker, roads at Anne Regina, Coffee Grove, Danielstown, Richmond, Queenstown, and Sparta that were all scheduled to be rehabilitated and upgraded were done. Mr. Speaker, government intends to transform the Supanam waterfront into a modern business hub with improved facilities for mooring of speedboats and waiting room for passengers, and the opening of mini malls along the waterfront. Work has commenced and is expected to be completed in the first quarter of 2019. The approximate 300 meters of sea defense at Johannes Cecilia, Essequibo Coast, was completed. Mr. Speaker, work has commenced on the construction of the operation theater at Public Hospital, and it is expected to be completed in the new year. On completion of the theater, referrals to the Georgetown Public Hospital will be greatly reduced. The region has benefited from much more projects in 2018. Too much to mention in this short time, yes, Mr. Speaker. Region 2 is on the move. Mr. Speaker, during 2019, an estimated $175 million will be spent in the region on projects including the extension of the Adventure Nursery School Annex and the Wakapau Secondary School, the construction of sanitary block at Kapui Nursery. $16 million will be spent in acquiring school furniture and equipment, including equipment for smart classroom, music and sports, computers for IT labs, among other things. $88 million will be spent on the completion of the operation theater at Sodi, the rehabilitation of electrical system at Sodi and Oscar Joseph Hospital, the health centers at Kabukaburi, Hackney, Wakapau, Carab, and Siriki in the Pomeroon will benefit from the installation of solar system supplying electricity to these facilities. Mr. Speaker, the communities of Kapui, Hilltop, and Mainstay will benefit from improved water supply system in 2019. The roads at Charity Housing Scheme, Dartmouth, Good Hope, Lima, Lelunion will be upgraded. An estimated sum of $54.8 million will be spent on these projects. Mr. Speaker, the bridges at Lelunion, Lima, and Riverstown will be constructed. The residents of Aurora, Warausi are grateful that the much-needed sea defense will be commenced in the new year. Mr. Speaker, these are some of the projects which will be done in Region 2 for the benefit of all the citizens. Mr. Speaker, our public servant always look forward for an increase in their salaries at budget time. And again, This government has not disappointed them. Our workers are happy and grateful for the increase in their salaries.
Very happy.
More so, the increase is retroactive from the 1st of January 2018 and will be paid free of income tax. More money for Christmas.
No tax on the bonus.
The income tax threshold has been increased from $720,000 per annum to $780,000, an indirect increase in salary. As of January 1st, 2019, our pensioners will now receive $20,500 per month. They have expressed their gratitude for this increase. Public assistance has also been increased. We all appreciate the effort of the AFC-APNU government in continuing providing a good life for all our people. Mr. Speaker, Essequibo belongs to Guyana. Essequibo is we own. We are grateful that the APNU-AFC government has taken the decision to invoke the jurisdiction of the ICJ with relation to the Venezuelan claim to the wealthy Essequibo.
I remember you have 5 minutes remaining.
No issue is more paramount than maintaining our sovereignty and securing our borders. This government will not allow any transgression to our sovereignty.
Never.
And will spare no cost to ensure Guyana remains 83,000 square miles. Mr. Speaker, I'm of the belief that Budget 2019 is a firm plan for the continued development of our entire country and the improving of the quality of life of all Guyanese. In those circumstances, Mr. Speaker, I have no alternative but to support the passage of Budget 2019 in this House. Thank you.